What's up, coaches? Welcome back to Coach Dino Football. I'm DiNicola, back again at Dexter Southfield on a beautiful Friday afternoon, getting ready for our first game this weekend. Today, we're going to be talking by the numbers and how coaches can use sports science to help their team succeed. To start our deep dive into sports tech, we're going to start by talking a little bit about the tech itself. As a Catapult rep, I talk with teams about this on a daily basis. But I've actually also used Catapult, one as a coach and two as a player. Catapult is basically a wearable GPS tracker that can gather performance data for players. It's pretty much the most widely used secret for all of your favorite teams, from your hometown varsity squad all the way up to 90% of the FBS college football teams wearing it, and the NFL, all 32 teams using it to some capacity. So why are metrics important? Because measurability will really lead to insight, right? Which in turn leads to improvement. If you're not improving, you really need to watch out, because you can bet that in this day and age, your competition is, particularly with technology. Before we get started, if you're interested in more content like this, just hit that subscribe button. It really helps us grow the channel, and it helps you keep up to date with the latest content that we're producing. Now onto the video. Now, all coaches want metrics, right? All coaches want to know more about their players. A lot of coaches would say, who wouldn't want to know more about the standard speed for a particular position group or any given player? Or who wouldn't want to know a player's full potential and then be able to leverage that data to get metrics to help them get recruited? And who wouldn't want insight into potential injury and mitigate that risk before it even happens? Now, one thing I'm excited about, I'm actually going to be using Catapult at Dexter Southfield with my team all season long. I've already gathered some data in the very early stages before we've even started our first game, and we're really getting a lot of great insight into our practices and how we're going to be conducting them to influence our games and future practices. Throughout the season, I'm going to be keeping you guys updated on what types of metrics we're getting, how we're using them, and how they're influencing our training, which leads me to my first point. What is Catapult? What does it look like? And what are the different components that make the technology accessible to schools at all levels? So right here, we've got our first thing. We call this the vest. This is worn under the player's pads during any type of game or training. And sometimes you'll run into players saying, I know I did my first time using this with my team. They'll say, what is this? It's a new piece of equipment. Is that some sort of sports bra or something like that? Why am I wearing this, right? My response is typically, okay, go home, check out your favorite team, favorite athlete, and then type in Catapult next to their name, and you're most likely always going to find a picture of your favorite players wearing it. And to that, problem solved. The next step really is to attach the pod to the vest. There's a little pocket right here that you can put it into. And really, all you've got to do is turn on the pod before putting it into the vest, pressing this one singular button that you see right here. Once you turn it on, immediately it'll start reading some internal and external data on your players. So really two main components here with the pod. First, you've got a bioaccelerometer. That's reading a lot of those internal metrics of your players, as well as there's a GPS coordinator tracking exactly where your players are at any given time. And through this, we're getting some really cool metrics. Things like top speed, calorie expenditure, how hard your guys are working, a bunch more. So once you're done with a session, all you need to do is hit the same button and upload it to a computer. The same way that you would photos from your phone, this process typically takes about 5 minutes per 10 pods. Just some tips as far as using Catapult to make it optimal for your particular use case. Everybody's team, budget, tech comfort level, that's all going to be subjective, right? Everybody has a different approach towards using technology, particularly with a team. So coaches might test it out, and I've seen it a few times where they'll test it out with 10 players and say, hey, we'll get them for those guys who we really want to track. Other coaches will say, we want to track all 50 to 100 players that we have on our roster. Depending on how big your roster is, how many guys you want to track, or what you're looking to do, we aim to make it really scalable for you. So that's it for today. As always, if you have any questions you'd like me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment, DM me. I'm at Coach Dino FB on Twitter and Instagram. I look forward to talking with you guys all season long. Thanks again.